Is it live? I think we're live. Yeah, matter of fact. Well, folks, welcome to another edition of Untitled. I am your host slash moderator, R. Jones, and joining me, as always, my man formerly of the BX Bronx, now residing in North Carolina, my man Dominic Donato is here. How are you, sir? Good to have you on.
Good evening, Mr. Jones.
All right. Here we go once again, bro. Some stuff going on. Even though to me, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's a little slow, sports-wise. Is it me
Right.
or?
No, you said it earlier when you was, I guess, debating doing this.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
it is. I mean,
I was like, so I was thinking more so of doing some other stuff in addition to the few sports topics that we have already. And
right.
of course, we're going to do that because we always go unhinged sometimes. sometimes we go off the rails or whatnot. And that's always fun for me. But first thing on the docket tonight is this issue right here: the fans storming the courts at the end of college basketball games. Now, I was reading up on this, and the thing is, what can be done? It might be easier said than done. Now, I understand that they've done some tinkering here and there by adding extra personnel, that being either security guards and or law enforcement. You understand? I'm trying to think of some other things that they're trying to do. They're trying to enforce now and come up with a solution for stopping this, because the reason why they need to stop this is because of obviously the players and their safety. And a couple players, including Caitlin Clark, you know what I'm saying, who just made history. Okay, and Stance made history again, you know what I'm saying? But she got, I think she got bumped into or something like that, if I'm not mistaken, and it's cause for concern. So the other side of it is, one other guy was saying, another gentleman, I forgot the guy's name, so excuse that. But his look was, as a matter of fact, it was what's that guy? What's that coach on that damn university? Anyway, let me get back. I'll get back to that later. He was saying how they shouldn't just wipe that aspect off completely because it's a part of the culture. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of endearing to those college fans and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But again, we're talking about the players' safety as well. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, so to speak. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, man. It's just, I'm all for player safety. I'm for the safety. I'm not gonna lie. I get it. It's part of the lore. It's part of what the games are. That's you tear down the goalposts at upset games. I get it. It's exciting. You're in the moment. I understand that. The same thing we said at like World Series and whatnot. The fans, they come off the seats or whatnot. They're rushing the field. They're happy. They're jubilant. They're celebrating. I get all that. But at the same time, you got to think about players' safety. How about their own safety, for that matter? The hell with the players. How about their own safety?
Right. I don't know. I look at it two different. I look at it like this is a bad situation. The Duke Wake Forest was a bad situation. You was at home. Mm-hmm. You was actually favored by 2.5 points.
Right.
So you not only won the game, beat the spread, and y'all stormed the court. I understand.
Right.
The Duke, Wake Forest, Duke, NC, Duke, NC State, whatever, the Tobacco Road shit. I get all that.
Exactly.
But I also get, let the kids be kids, man. They're still kids, Why don't you, here's a novel thought, why don't you folks who we're paying tons of money to, i.e. the universities, why don't y'all create a path? Why don't you get security out there? 20 seconds left, and you develop a path to get these players off the court. You know what's going to happen. It's like you said, it's sort of a tradition. The goalpost, the North Carolina, the Duke, the aura of beating these teams. So you're up by whatever, 20 seconds left. Let's try to filtrate. We get these players off the court and let the kids, because we live in a society where there's certain states that say, hey, go ahead, go bring your crew and go do all this robbing of jewelry stores, department stores. Just don't hurt nobody. Just don't steal over $5,000.
Exactly.
And just don't hurt. And we won't even bother you. We won't arrest you. We won't prosecute you. We won't do nothing. And now you want to, look at it this way. Tell me honestly, I know we don't know the number. I'm just throwing it out there for the audience. How many players have actually got hurt during this?
I don't think it's a lot.
You look at everything now with so much oomph, because again, it becomes a hot button topic. So now everybody has a side to take just to make conversation, just to have a podcast, just to get some feedback. But again, tell me how many players
I can't
have gotten hurt with this.
I mean, you know what? Dare I say it would be a low number, obviously, because it's not really a lot. And we talk again. It's something that was never really addressed like that to this extent. You know what I'm saying? Where the calls are now out there for player protection, which I'm for, which I am for. Make no mistake, I am for it. And I understand. Oh, there you go. And I understand what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? It's for the kids and all that stuff and the excitement, the celebration. I get all that as well. But honestly, man, I don't know, man.
Take the other side of it then. Me and you, not to put our ages out there.
Right.
We're old enough to remember World Series games, whatever, ending games in a playoff series.
For sure.
That people storm the field.
Right.
Stop doing that. Why? You built a barrier.
Enough
security to say we ain't doing this no more.
Right.
If you do, I'm not going to say you're going to get Billy clubbed, whatever. But they created a system where we can't do this no more.
Right.
So instead of you giving lip service, now I'm going to take the other side. Instead of you giving lip service to this, you again, university who's making umpteen $billion.
Exactly.
Figure out a way to keep the kids off the court or find a way to get the players off the court.
Right.
You can't have it both ways, but you can do it because, again, Major League Baseball is a prime example. Reggie's here now, too. We're all old enough to remember storming the field, stealing bases, grabbing dirt, whatever we can get our hands on.
I mean, you look at you look at Hank Aaron breaking the home run record. As soon as he hit it, and as soon as he rounded got near in between first and second base, there was a fan on him already.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get where you're going, man.
That's another bad example, because if you remember, again, we're I hate to keep saying we're old enough to remember. We're old enough to remember the death threats Hank Aaron was getting. Yes,
exactly.
But these two dudes who loved Hank Aaron, ironically, they happen to be white, but they were big Hank Aaron fans. They get on the field close enough to touch and run their eyes around the base pit. Where was security? Right.
And again, I got to agree with your point. All like these universities, these colleges, these ADs, whoever's in charge, you understand, of the arena and whatnot, why aren't you putting these policies in place? You understand? I mean,
one day, guys, let's cut you off. One day, for shits and giggles, I want you guys to Google what's the net worth of the University of Texas. Just that kind. Don't go no further.
Right.
They're worth more than the Kansas City Royals.
Exactly. Exactly.
A damn major sports team. They're in the billions, fellas.
Right. Wow.
When's the last time they won a championship?
Exactly. It's a big business. It's a big business.
Remember with what's his name? Young. That was his name. Vince Young.
Vince Young.
Oh, I thought you were talking basketball.
Remember?
Nah, he's talking football.
Now, I don't want to say where is he now, but look at the
where is he now?
Look at their revenue, guys. That shit
probably still on the University of Texas somewhere.
Hopefully it's working for them, all that money they're making. But
you would think so. You would I hope so.
Upper deck seat.
Yes.
Where North Carolina plays. I'm an alum. $348.
For what?
Upper deck.
Nah.
At UNC. College.
The nosebleed section.
Yes.
$348.
Their nosebleeds ain't as high as.
Okay. Wait.
God,
so you definitely must be in the front row.
Reggie, 348. You might be in that last row.
No, Bob Uecker, baby. I must be in the front row. You don't remember that?
And you know what they say? Well, you get a break and you get to get in. I'm like, that's like almost my car payment.
Exactly.
Oh,
well, all depends on what kind of car you driving.
Well, I'm never mind.
So, wait, let me hear from Sir Reginald if he even has something to say on this. The fans rushing the courts.
Okay, my man. First of all, dude should have known it was coming. You was on the wrong side of the ledger, so get your ass off the court. What was he thinking about? Oh, we know he wasn't going to get hit. Man, please don't take away the fun from the kids, man.
Yeah.
Darn that. I don't take the fun away from the kids. They didn't go. They didn't go out there to hurt that man. They didn't go out there to hurt him.
You know what? It's interesting. I get it. You talk about the kids and stuff like that, but at the same time, while you're saying that, deep off on the other side of my mind is something like the adults, like guys that. Oh, let me bring David in. Hold on for a second. All right, David. Thanks for joining us. Your mic is live.
Sir, David.
What's up?
All right, what's going on?
Mr. MSG in the background.
Exactly. As always. But again, I'm figuring listen, the world is not nice. The world is sick. You got some people with some mental issues in this country, in this world, matter of fact. You understand what I'm saying? And you might have a nutcase who could be obsessed. Of course, I'm just making this shit up. I'm just saying it's an example. Who's obsessed, and at the end of a game where it was tightly contested and they pulled off a win and everybody's emotionally charged and celebrating whatnot, he might have some other ill intent to get on that court. I'm just saying that let's not act like that can't happen now.
That's a product of the world we live in today, and I understand your thinking.
Right.
But most of these people in the student body, they ain't thinking like that.
Right.
They in college. I'm not going to say you don't have a nut jobs, because we do. We had an incident today on the subway. A conductor got slashed, and the gas was crazy. I saw the picture. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I couldn't even see it. Yeah, I couldn't even see it.
But I mean, the few that are crazy as opposed to the ones that's not, I don't know. I don't think you. I don't think you should do it. I don't think you should take that away from them, especially if it's an upset of that magnitude.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
I haven't beaten these guys in 30 years, and I finally beat them. You don't think they're going to run on the court? You got to know that.
The thing with this, though, now you got two guys, we're going to hear Dave, that said, let the kids be kids. It's sort of like baseball slogan last year. Remember, let the kids play.
Right.
We want to see these young players in MLB. Let the kids play. Enough of these, umpires taking over the game. Let the kids play.
Let the kids play. Exactly.
You let them play, and Dave, Reggie, I want somebody to tell me how many people have actually gotten hurt during this. I'm not saying that's a big factor, but we're making it sound like every time these kids storm the court, 55 people are rushed to the hospital.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Right.
This is about the first time I ever heard somebody actually getting hurt from this. And all my years,
I heard it too.
Yeah, exactly. So the girl got bumped into last.
That was but then the footage that I saw, it was questionable. Did she run into the fan, or the fan run into her?
Who bumped who?
It just happened to be that it was this Caitlin Clark girl. So all eyes on her. But let me say this. I would say, I guess 30 years ago at this point now, I attended a Temple UMass game at Temple back when Marcus Camby was on UMass and Rick Brunson was playing. So that shows you how long ago it was. And
that art making days.
Yeah. That was the Calipari. Gosh, his name just escapes me now. The coach for Temple.
Cheney. No, not Cheney.
John Cheney. Yeah, John Cheney.
When they had their beef, and so my sister was a professor at Temple, and we went to the game. And when it became evident that Temple was going to pull it out at the end because it was neck and neck all the way through, we were sitting in the stands, and the student section was behind us. And I said to my sister, it's a minute left. I said, we might want to leave and go off to the side. She said, oh, why? I said, because you see all those people behind us, they're going to be in front of us in a minute. And they're going to go through us to get to it. So she said, okay. And so the game was on ESPN and everything. And so we go off to the side and watch the end of the game. And sure enough, there they came. You know this is going to happen.
Hey.
And here I am. I'm not playing in the game, but I'm right in the middle of it. And I had enough sense to get out of the way.
Thank you.
To Reggie's point, this is really the first time that I've heard of anything. And these kids have been storming the court for years.
Yeah.
Football games too. And I think it's a part of the culture of college.
Right.
You know, and this is part, I mean, this is a big deal. If you ever been on a college campus, that was the only time I ever was on a college campus for a game like that. The kids, they were driving up and down the street, screaming, and having a parade, everything, because, you know, this was part of their college experience. I don't see it as being a big problem. It's just that this girl, you know, young woman, Caitlin Clark, who is everybody's, you know, whatever, you know, she ran into a fan, or the fan ran into her, and she fell, and she, you know, flopped down there or whatever. And then this kid from Duke, you know, you got injured, but it's rare, and this happens all the time.
Right.
Without injury, or if whoever gets injured, they're not big enough a name for people to even know that somebody got hurt. So I don't see the policing of it as being necessary. I think there are ways to control it, maybe a little better, but to take it away from these kids, I don't.
The funny thing is, with them and of course the sports media, I mentioned it to R before y'all came on. This was a real weird case, and then all the sports pundits bring this up. One, Wake Forest was actually favored to win this game. So there was a time in the game where they won the game, and they had the spread, and you're at home. Yeah. But then there's the other side, guys. It's Duke.
It's Duke.
It's Wake Forest. It could have been Wake Forest and NC State.
Right.
Whatever. That ACC tobacco roll mentality always kicks in, guys.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just that simple. So, again, why don't, since these colleges are making $1 zillion, come up with a way to form a tunnel, get these players off the court, and let the kids be kids.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. I agree. Let's.
Well, with what you said, I get where you're coming from, but as Dave said before, if the regular fan know what's got to go on, you gotta know the players know what's about to happen.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Oh, come on, or the coaches or somebody. No, no, you can't. I mean, I'm sorry the kid got hurt, but I'm not sorry. You gotta know. You gotta be aware of your surroundings. We aware of our surroundings. Dom grew up in the Bronx, Hollis, Queens. You're aware of everything that's going on. So you're gonna sit here and tell me you didn't know that was about to happen? Come on.
Let me say this. Let's say the same kid in the middle of the game is a play, and he dives into the stands and he hurts himself.
Or hurts a fan, Dave.
Or hurts a fan. Okay, so I mean, these type of injuries happen in these settings. I'm not, you know, let's not make it more than what it is. It's an anomaly in this case. They have more chance to get hurt during the game. Doing some things, you know. Or
not doing anything at all.
Exactly.
You know, you come down on the rebound, you could pop a Achilles tendon. A knee, anything.
Guys, I love having these conversations because I always say I remember when we were talking.
Yeah.
That we was talking about when I was a kid. You used to walk through the field to get at a Yankee Stadium.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
me and my boy Art, we're little kids, we're like 12, 13 years
Yeah.
old. We forgot how many outs there was. We go to hop over the lanyard, the banister, and this dude jumps out the visitor's dugout. Never forget it, Washington Senators. And he just kept coming. That's how big it was. Frank Howard. Come to find out, it was Frank Howard. And he looked at us and said, "There ain't 3 outs." We was like, hop back over that shit. But we was allowed to do this. We was allowed to walk across the field.
Hold on. Let me.
You wasn't taking that chance, huh?
Frank,
hold on. Let me.
He reminded
He
us,
was
though.
Exactly. There's not 3 outs. Get your ass back on the other side.
And he just never stopped coming. I was like,
no, Frank, I
met him.
I met him because
like
when
6'6", 6'8".
Oh no, he was huge. He was a mountain. When he was a coach, he was a coach for the Mets at one point.
Yeah,
and he used to, the nicest guy. He used to come out of Shea to the fans, in the parking lot, and he would stand there and he would talk just for a long time. I mean, just engaging the fans. But he was a mountain.
Yeah,
he was definitely.
He talked to me and Arthur. He said 3 words.
Yep.
There's not 3 outs. 4 words.
Let me.
Somebody was getting ready to kick our ass.
Hold on. Let me bring our brother, the Bishop. Your mic is live. Thanks for joining us, brother. How you doing tonight?
What's going on, fellas? What's up?
What's going on? I know during this whole commentary, you just soaking it in and forming your opinion and to tell the people. So I'm going to give you that chance.
Yeah. So as much money as they charge for these tickets for these games, they ain't gonna police it. Maybe they'll basically have an area for the players to go when the people storm the court.
Yeah.
Like they'll have a secluded area for the play.
Yeah.
And for all the important people to be in, and that will be protected by security so that the fans can't get there. But I mean, the dude is like a 7-foot goofy dude. It's like, yo, how do you get hurt in that? It's like, yeah, it would be a 7-foot goofy dude, and he was from Duke, so who cares? Who really cares?
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Next. Right along.
Yeah.
Okay, well said. So with that being said, let's do some moving on to this gentleman, your boy. The custom-made hats, Cam Newton and the Brawl. Now,
go around and find out.
Yep.
Now, this is interesting from what I understand. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm not really a Cam follower like that.
Yeah,
and I just learned that he is like a supreme trash talker. I had never realized that about him. I don't know if you guys did. But I never realized that.
Well, if you dress like that, you got to be able to say.
You got to be able to deflect, baby.
But I never realized the shit that he would talk and whatnot. And apparently, he had there was some type of beef between these two brothers. One was named Steph Brown. The other was TJ Brown. And apparently, there was some history, and Cam kind of threw his weight around and tried to just like make these guys feel a certain type of way. And it just at this event, things got out of hand.
Yeah. So in other words, a giant got jumped by hobbits.
Yeah. Coming from a house of pancakes.
No.
So Cam Newton was Gulliver. Huh?
I'm just saying though, man.
Yeah, he was Gulliver. He was Gulliver. Yeah.
Nah. Yeah. Exactly. Gulliver's Travels and whatnot. Yeah, no, but honestly, he has to check himself. You don't think he has to check himself when it comes to stuff like this? Come on, man. You ain't been in the league since 2021, 3 years ago.
Check himself as far as trash talking, or just getting himself in a situation where something like this could happen.
That second option you just said, yes.
Yes, sir. How is he supposed to control? How is he supposed to control the emotions of two people coming up to attack him? Like he can say whatever he wants. it's up to them to ignore it and not let it get to them to the point where they feel like they want to make it a physical thing.
Well, yeah, I agree with you, Bishop. But
okay,
let me. I think of the Jay-Z line where, where he talks about if you shoot me, you're famous, or I shoot you, I'm brainless, or something like that. If you are he's the name. Mm-hmm. So we only know about it because it's Cam Newton.
Right.
If it was two guys jumping, Johnny Random, mm-hmm. we would never have heard of it.
Unless somebody got shot. Unless somebody got shot. Right.
Okay. Right. So I agree with Bishop about, these guys have to control themselves, but part of, and I'm not calling them hood because I don't know them, mm-hmm. but there's a mentality out there where we do, people respond emotionally, and their thoughts about what's right or wrong in the moment takes a back seat. And Cam had more to lose in this situation. It just so happened that, he handled his business.
6'250" and do it.
Exactly. But you do have to be mindful if you are someone of the stature and status of Cam Newton. You can't get into these entanglements. Mm-hmm. With the common.
I guess that's why he didn't swing. I guess that's why he wasn't swinging.
Right. He was just slinging. He was just slinging. Right. He was just slinging them off of him. Yeah.
Right. But I asked the question with the kids storming the court. How many times have you heard Cam Newton being involved in stuff like this? I've heard more positive stuff, as bizarre as he acts and dresses.
Yeah.
I've heard more positive stuff that Cam Newton does than the trash talking, the this and the that.
Yeah.
These guys thought they were just going to bum rush him and make a name for themselves. Oh, we dusted Cam Newton.
Right.
So Dom, let me back to your point. So when Frank Howard said it was 2 outs, would y'all have thought about saying whatever explicative to that man?
I told you
exactly my point. Exactly. I'm like, come on now. Something's wrong with this new generation, man.
Yes. Right.
Yeah. Well, that's obvious.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the water. I don't know. Something's off, boy.
Matter of fact, you're at an event that he's helping kids.
Yeah. Exactly.
It was his event. That 7-on-7.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Goes back and he helps kids with this. You tried to make a name for yourself, Mr. Dum Dum, and your Dum Dum friend, but you found out quick that you made a name for yourself. It ain't happened to be the way you wanted it to be, but
it sure did.
F-A-F-O. F-A-F-O.
It's not Nate
Yep, exactly.
Cam Newton is
F-A-F-O.
250. You know that, right? He's still 6'6", 250.
Right. Exactly.
I think what happened was they used to work in his foundation.
Yeah.
And then they branched off and started their own academy, and there was some butthurt feelings involved where it's like, yo, you used to work for me, now you got your own thing, and y'all still not the original, and this and that, and so it was something along those lines, something catty. It was very catty.
Yeah.
It was like very catty. Like, so they could have just blocked each other on social media, and maybe that would have been good.
But like Reggie said, this society, like Reggie said, these kids want to try to make a name for themselves.
But it was grown men. It was grown men.
And they found out the hat. First of all, the hat didn't.
The hat didn't even come on. No, that's.
He had one dude in the headlock, Greg and the other guy.
That was it.
He Draymond Green up.
The hat never moved, guys.
The hat never moved.
That was the story of all this.
Yeah. I forget Cam. I want to hear from the hat. What does the hat have to say?
Wow. Wait. Hold on. So So nobody came to help Cam because the hat stayed on?
People did jump in.
A couple people tried to get the ball.
Swing at somebody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, y'all missed it. Y'all missed it.
The hat was the star of the show, guys.
Remember when the hat came off and everybody was jumping off the ball?
Yeah, I was thinking about that before too. Yeah.
I have a soft spot for Cam because I watched him since he was a rookie. But again, guys, this dude is 6'6".
Right.
Like he was running up on Nate Robinson. Nothing against Nate Robinson.
Right.
I'm just talking stature. 5'.
Right.
We're talking 6'6".
Yeah.
You know how big this dude is, man.
Yeah.
Man, that must have been some good weed they were smoking before.
Dumb shit.
He was 7 foot tall with the hat on.
And the hat was the star of the show.
The star of the show.
Oh man.
The hat said, I ain't going nowhere.
I ain't going nowhere. Exactly.
Oh Jesus. All right.
I'm sorry.
Black History Month too.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're just making new history.
That's right.
The hat was black.
Speaking of history, did R talk to Bishop Esquire?
Oh.
Okay, you want to get into this bull crap, dude? Really?
Wow.
I'm just saying. I just asked a question.
You're saying nothing.
If we're not done with the sports segment, let's continue with the sports segment.
Exactly. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? So don't bring that up. That nonsense.
I was just asking. a question.
The hat was black.
Yeah, the hat was black. Black hats matter.
You know what?
I always challenge you guys to come
Are we trying to go into the unhinged portion this early?
It's 8:30.
Exactly. Starting this bullshit early. Reginald.
No, all hats matter.
Hey, at least I don't know Diddy.
Okay, I don't know
either. That's not what it said in the paper, dog. That's not what it said in the paper.
That's not me, fool. Okay, there's more than one Rod Jones. Okay, so whatever.
Allegedly.
All right? Whatever.
In New York, they're working security. Well,
right?
Ain't too coincidental.
Yeah. And the R. Jones that we know already said that he turned down a job.
That's right. That's right. I did.
What kind of job did he turn? What kind of job did you turn down?
It was a security detail.
Yeah.
Really?
I'll bet.
Is that what you calling it? Is that what you calling it?
It's personal security.
Yeah, whatever. Nah.
A security detail.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds.
All right.
That sounds.
What were you securing?
Moving on to the NFL quarterback carousel, which we're going to talk about right now. There's 3 right now off the top of the head. You got Justin Fields. You got the move. Will these guys be moved? Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, and also Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
So what is the deal? Out of those 3 quarterbacks, would you believe? Who would you rank as number one right now out of those 3 quarterbacks? To me, it's
the other one. Who was the other one after Justice Fields?
We have Russell Wilson.
The 2 Wilsons.
Yeah, 2 Wilsons. Yeah, and then
Fields.
Justin Fields. Thank you.
Russell Wilson.
You have Russell Wilson number 1.
Yeah. Yeah. He's just in a bad system.
Okay.
He can still play. He's just in a bad system.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I believe it or not, I would actually put Fields first and then Russell.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know which way I'm leaning on that, but I can see the arguments for either or.
Right. I go Fields because he's younger.
That would be
molded.
argument.
He's not married to Ciara, who some people say that's when Wilson started developing this diva mentality, even in Seattle, where a lot of his teammates didn't even like, how he acted. So they was kind of happy when he got shipped to Denver, and then he didn't play well in the beginning. So now we're going to get all of the wheels falling off. But yeah, I would I would take Justin Fields on the Jets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Not Russell Wilson though.
Yeah.
Nah.
He got too much mileage.
And that contract is that contract.
Yeah, the contract's a killer.
That's the problem.
And to be fair to Russell, he had a slight resurgence last year.
Yeah, at the end.
You know what I'm saying? At the end, he did. You know, so I get what Bish is saying, that his play, he can still play the position. You know what I'm saying? But at what level? I mean, is it at his prime, or is it when it dropped? I'm more of a thinker that it's dropped, but he could still perform, but not at the level he once was.
How old is he now?
Oh man,
36 maybe.
Wow. I was going to say 34. He's 36.
He could be. You know, he could be. I'm gonna look it up now, see if I can find out. 35.
35. Okay.
Yeah, 35 years old. So 36 wasn't too far off.
No.
You know.
Yeah.
So again,
has he had any major injuries? Not really.
No,
not really. I don't think so.
No.
It's just
Yeah.
the system. The system that he's in. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, he could be a bit of a diva or whatever, but I think it's more the system he's in.
Well, the system wore itself out in Seattle. You know, and again, in his earlier years, they was a ground and pound, defensive-minded football team.
Yeah.
His latter years was a little more open. He went to Denver where it was a little more open. But again, I'm not going to throw him totally under the bus, because you supposedly brought the quarterback whisperer in to be your coach. And what did he do? You know, I love these guys that win this one Super Bowl and all of a sudden they're Vince Lombardi.
Right.
I don't get that. I don't know about this guy. He, again, won Super Bowl. Again, he's the quarterback whisperer. Look what he did with Drew Brees. How about saying Drew Brees was pretty damn good? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Was Drew Brees a scrub? Was Drew Brees a Joe Flacco that you won a Super Bowl with? No. Drew Brees was a good quarterback, man.
Yeah.
And ironically, both of them were little quarterbacks. So stop giving this guy all of this.
Yeah.
Oh, man, get out of here with that shit. Especially with Denver.
Right.
Especially with Denver. Many coaches they've been through. Nah, stop.
But you could kind of like see that the team got beef or something with because it's like, why would you go to him and tell him, restructure or we gonna bench you? So it's not like we don't believe that you can play, but we want you to restructure your contract. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
Like, why would I give up money when I know you got it, so that you can go and get somebody that you want to get and then bench me anyway? Like, that just don't bench me.
Who gave him that extension, guys? Denver.
Yeah.
Denver.
Then Denver goes out and gets the quarterback whisperer. Now you're not winning. So again, all right, Dave, you ready? You're on the hot seat. Not the coach. Not the coach we brought in to turn this whole thing around.
Yeah.
Dave, I would go with Justin Fields, but I'm not going to slam Russell Wilson.
Right.
Because I saw what I saw. You know, you brought this guy in who's supposed to be the next whatever. And like I said, guys, come on, man. If he did that shit and he had that run with me and Dave as quarterback, I'd be like, yeah, this guy's a genius. You know, he had Drew Brees, guys. I mean, you look at some of the offensive records by quarterbacks to see how many he had. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah.
Yeah. Who was you whispering to in New Orleans? Not Drew Brees. No, he was a good quarterback. So was Russell Wilson.
Fine.
But now you're mad. You ain't winning because they thought you were. So now Dave is under the bus. Sorry, Dave, but hey, bro, you gotta go.
So the question that R asked about, who was, who would we put in number one, and we're split. So that means, though, the one that we haven't spoken about, what's the deal with that? I mean, personally, I don't have a problem with them trading him, but I just like to know what the plan is at that position. Rodgers, the expectation of him returning, but also what's plan B, and what's the plan for the future? Right. Because we're talking, this is Rodgers, we're talking about, this is a now issue.
This could be his last year.
Right. So if you're giving up on Zach Wilson, and I'm not saying that they're wrong to do so, what's the thought process behind, because they're going to need a quarterback
exactly
in the very near future.
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
Like Aaron may be option A, and y'all haven't even came up with an A minus.
No,
right.
no.
You know, serious. I'm a Jets fan. I'm
exactly
about this, but let's say Aaron Rodgers does give us another year after this because he sort of got a year off. So
yeah.
So even that, guys, you're still not thinking, life beyond Aaron Rodgers, like Green Bay did. Green Bay sure as hell had a plan for life after Aaron Rodgers, didn't they?
Yeah.
They had a plan while Aaron Rodgers was there.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yep.
And again, guys, I thought that would help Zach Wilson.
I did too.
And I don't know, guys. It happens all the time.
Because you are who you are.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
They certainly can go in there with Trevor Siemian and Brett Ripien as well. You know what I'm saying? As their backups, they can't do that.
Well, I hope that's not their plan.
I hope not either.
It's one thing to have a plan, and maybe things didn't work out. But if that is what you are counting on, then that speaks to a broader issue.
Exactly.
Knowing your quarterback is 102 years old to begin with.
Yeah, it will be 103 when the season starts.
Yeah,
right.
Come on, guys. There is a thing of thinking ahead as we sit here and watch exhibition baseball. You think about that. This is what exhibition baseball is about. Hey, we know what our plan is going into the season, but since we have all these youngsters together, we can develop a plan.
We can develop exactly, and they should. And to be honest, they would be cheating themselves out of an opportunity to compete.
Right.
If they fail to have a plan at that position.
Why are the NFLs? Why are they so different?
I was just about to say one of the things that they don't have the benefit of that the baseball and basketball have is they don't have a place for these kids to play until they're ready to come up to the show. Yeah, a minor league system. Because this has really, helped a lot of young kids where, I feel like the NFL, the window is already short. And then they're coming in at 20, 21, 22 years old. And by the time they're 24, it's like we're talking about, they're done. They're washed up. Where baseball players and maybe even basketball players, a lot of them don't even hit their prime till they're 27, 28.
Yeah.
So, but that's the game. And I feel like with basketball, not basketball, with football. It's like they're always looking at the season is the season, but they're always looking at what the next draft. Who's next? I mean, that's all really the focus is on, especially for a team that has no chance of making CFL. Yeah, but see, that's the other thing too. Football is a sport where injuries are definitely a part of the game, and so it's not really where if you have a prize prospect that you want them to get a whole lot of playing where they could possibly get injured. It's a little different than the other two sports. It's what makes football that much more challenging in that regard.
Right.
And even with that said, guys, you let them play in another league, like Reggie says, to stay in, and what's the likelihood of them getting hurt? It's still football. It's still a super contact sport. So again, like Reggie, like Dave said, between 22 and 27 years old in football, you're like, damn, ready for Social Security.
Exactly. Definitely. I don't know, man. I think if they don't plan, I'm talking about the Jets. If they don't have a plan for that position, because they need to have one and fast.
So give this guy an extension, Justin Fields.
Did they? Or
I know. I'm asking.
I don't know. The finances in football is very different.
The salary cap went up.
Yeah. I think it went up. How much? 25 million, I think. If I'm not mistaken.
Something like that, 24, 25 million. If
To
I was
me-
the Jets, I would look long and hard at Justin Fields.
Yeah,
I would as well. I think that
I would too.
Yeah.
I would too.
I don't see him being a starting quarterback next year, guys. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
most quarterback slots are pretty well, solidified. So you're looking for a, what's the name didn't franchise tag Baker Mayfield. So they're either going to have to sign him as a free agent or they'll have to find a quarterback.
Yeah.
They may be the only ones in that position.
They were smart. They were smart.
Mm.
They were smart. They didn't franchise Baker. Smart. Stop throwing away good money.
Well, they're going to re-sign him. They just didn't franchise tag him. They might be able to re-sign him for less than they were going to franchise tag him.
Well,
A whole lot less.
The talk, believe it or not, the talk was, I saw this somewhere, $100 million for this guy.
How many years?
Well, they didn't get into how many years. I didn't get to that part.
It don't matter in the NFL anyway.
No, I was about to say this is that monopoly money. That's why the finances in the NFL. I just hate the fact that money, budgets and caps and all that stuff dictate rosters as much as they do.
Okay.
We got the star player, but we can't keep him. Or we gotta do funny money to move things around. To me, that part of it is not entertaining for me.
I'll be honest, guys. I can't keep up with it in the NFL.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a master's. It ain't in math.
Yeah.
I just can't keep up with the NFL. Seriously.
No.
I ain't saying I'm not that smart. I just can't keep up, guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
and to be
I can't
honest,
even keep up with what team these guys play for.
Exactly.
I can't. Yeah, I definitely it's going to those days.
Yeah.
And Dom, to answer your question about his contract and whatnot, did you know he signed a fully guaranteed 4-year deal worth $18 million, almost $19 million actually.
Per year?
Yeah. Well, not per year. No.
Okay.
No. The contract includes what was that? Barely over $11 million signing bonus.
Who's his Fields?
Yeah.
Okay.
His base salary in 2021 was $660,000, right? 2022, 825,000. 2023, he went over $1 million, almost close to 1.2, and his base for 2024 is 1.6 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, the last guy on the bench in baseball who never takes his jacket off is making more.
Exactly.
This is great, and this is before taxes, agents, and
Chicago of all
there you
places.
go.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, free that kid. Let him go somewhere else and give him a chance. I don't think he's that bad, guys. Come on.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Who, Justin Fields? We talking about, right?
Justin Fields. Yeah.
Justin Fields.
Yeah, I don't think he's that bad.
To Bishop's point, he may just be in the wrong system.
Right.
Yeah.
With Wilson, the way Bishop said about Wilson, let this guy go. And and guess what, guys? We know the bad jinx with the USC quarterbacks. If you're going with Cam Callaway, howdy, ho.
No, that guy, no.
I'm just saying.
He wants stock options too.
Yeah.
Oh, they had a father that said he.
Yeah.
Come on now, stop, man.
I tell you what, I like what some of these young kids are doing. I'm not playing that monkey see, monkey do shit at these combines. I'm not doing that. Y'all had 3 years, 4 years to look at me in college. You're not going to make me look like a fucking little chimp running around the field doing Simon Says do this. No. Some of them are saying, I ain't throwing, I ain't running. Y'all going to have to come watch me do private workouts. I love that part, guys.
Yeah.
I do. I can never understand them combines. These kids have played 3-4 years of college.
Right.
Now you want them to jump 40, have a 40-inch vertical, run 4.2, 4. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. What was your scouts doing all this time?
Sleeping.
Football is weird, guy. Yeah, thank you. Football is weird. Football had me unhinged after the first 5 minutes.
No, it's true. And then also there's footage everywhere. It's not like years ago where you don't get a chance to see a guy.
No, just like you said.
You can see a guy anywhere he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could see Mitchell Robinson doing stuff on YouTube or whatnot, why can't you see?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why can't you see this a certain select player in the same way? Why not?
For 3 or 4 years in college.
Exactly.
Guys. There ain't no college kid coming out in 1 year.
Yeah, exactly.
How many one and dones are done in college football?
Right.
Not many, if any.
Not many.
So you had at least 3 years to watch anyone a Heisman Trophy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, all that jumping through hoop shit. I commend these kids for this, man. No,
we're not doing it. No, good for them. Good for them. Exactly. Let's do a little moving on, shall we? Let's see. Let's go into the lane of our favorite baseball team, despite Sir Bishop thinking otherwise, that I'm not a Yankee fan, even though I am. Can the New York Yankees turn around the season with these moves that they made? The big move was obviously Juan Soto. That guy, man.
Did he get hurt?
Did he?
I hope not.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
I'm not trying to be funny. I thought I saw something that. No, really, seriously. I saw something that he got hurt. But
I certainly hope not.
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, I didn't hear that either.
Somebody was just anticipation. You know,
he hit a home run. He hit a home run in left center field that got out in like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
basically. Exactly.
No, I've seen enough of him to know what he's capable of.
Well, you know what I want to ask, guys? What's this dude's problem? This Snell guy.
This problem? Oh, Snell.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I was about to bring him up.
Yeah. Scott Boras is his problem, isn't it?
Probably, but again, remember the days. Scott Boras, speaking of Scott Boras, he was A-Rod's.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
Remember, they were having this back and forth after his contract with the Yankees. A-Rod said, man, go sit down. I'm going to talk to George myself. Mm-hmm. That's what some of these guys got to do, and that's why I keep asking, what's up with this
you
Snell
work
guy?
For me, not the other way around. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's up with this Snell kid? You got to step up and say, yo, we're in what? Second week? 18 games of exhibition baseball, spring training, and
the season is rapidly approaching.
Right around the corner, Dave.
Yep.
Yes. Right around the corner. Mm-hmm. You're sitting there holding your fingers. The Yankees gave him a good offer. Speaking of the Yankees,
he
has a good offer on the table with the Yankees.
Right.
What's up? You don't want to play this year?
Yeah, I don't get that myself.
Well, that's
you're betting on yourself and Scott Boras.
Yeah.
It looks like you ain't winning right now.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand that myself, to be honest with
you. And you got to look at it like this too. You've only got one of you, and the window of opportunity, is but so long. Scott Boras has many clients,
right?
And so if he doesn't make money this year off of you, he's making his money off of several other guys. Meanwhile, you're not doing anything but getting older.
Right. And Snell is getting older.
Yes, this is not some young guy. He's an absolute talent, but you've got to take charge. Like I said before, you got to remind people that you work for me.
A-Rod did.
Yeah, like A-Rod did. So
there you go.
So I think I was surprised when I saw that. Again, I'm not going into, this is not about Yankee bashing or anything like that. I'm talking baseball. And I don't understand what does he want?
Yeah,
you got the Yankees.
He's 31 years old, Dave.
Yeah,
You're 31 years old and a pitcher, and you got a good contract on the table.
Yeah, what do you want? Because there's always one thing, like the Yankees or not, there is always that right around the corner. The Yankees, like to ours point, can turn it around. And go back to their winning ways. They are, as much as I hate to say it, they are known for winning, and these spells of losing are really anomalies in their history, and so for a guy to turn it down, do you want to win?
Yeah,
I would want to be a part of that.
Indeed. I just don't like my thing is they need to sign this guy. This guy needs to I agree with you guys totally, because the one thing we definitely need is pitching and whatnot. And you got a guy that won a Cy Young award. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know,
and
go ahead, Dave.
And my team is bargain basement shopping. You know, so why not go to the Yankees? Because I don't have the faith that the Mets are going
to. He's 1 year younger than Stroman, who the Mets Yankees.
Yeah.
He's 1 year younger than Stroman. Stroman's 32, he's 31.
Right.
Stroman took $18.5 million per year for 2 years. But you know what he said? Man, the Yankees don't come calling every day. I don't care what we say. You know, some Major League Baseball players are still like, man, that's the damn Yankees.
Well, that's
so
my point.
I'm thinking, what did they offer Snell? Like, I'm pretty sure it's more than they offered Stroman.
I'm sure.
And you're still sitting there twiddling your thumbs.
And
the Yankees are going to move on and say, hey, you know what?
At some point, because they're not going to want to deal with Boris. They're not going to want to deal with him. Let him. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying. And he needs to be a man and divorce himself away from his agent. You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
Yeah. If your agent is impeding you, he's getting in the way of opportunity, then he's working counter what an agent is supposed to be doing.
Right.
An agent is supposed to be, looking out for you and trying to get you the best deals. But if he's being a disruptor and a hindrance, and it's about him and not about the client, I think that's always been a problem with Scott.
Yep, exactly. And getting back to Juan Soto for a second, I think this is the guy that they need, obviously. And I saw a comment. Someone was saying, oh, well, don't get too excited about the 22 runs and the 12 runs, the first two games of the spring and whatnot. Let me tell you something. I don't think they're going to go through a scoring drought this year. I really don't think so.
Well, as long as they've got the weapons.
So what was impressive about that was, and I think Dom had brought it up, they only hit 3 home runs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If I'm not mistaken, was I correct in that, Dom?
Yeah.
3 home runs and you scored those many runs?
Exactly.
Okay, maybe they're making a turn.
I think it looks good.
I would hope so, but that was impressive.
Yeah. And they weren't all 3-run home runs.
Because let's remember, guys, I looked it up. I think this guy's maybe a career 270 hitter. I think the most home runs he ever hit was maybe 35. So it's not like you brought Babe Ruth in here.
Yeah.
Guys, we've known each other long enough. We've seen this movie before with the home run or bust. Chicks love the long ball, and it got us to the first round.
Right.
We were beyond that. So I'm hoping this kid becomes more He's got power, guys. We can't deny that. He has power. He's going to hit some home runs. But
he also has opposite field. He hits a lot of opposite field home runs too.
Yeah. This is true.
A lot of balls flying out of left field.
It's definitely the opposite way.
Yeah.
But that being said, guys, I'm a Yankee fan, and this says, can the Yankees turn it around this season in blue with white letters? But if we're going to do the same thing we've been doing, remember, guys, we still have Judge, Stanton, Gleber. So these are all the guys that.
Well, Stanton is a part-time player.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I like the Yankees, but Stanton is the part-time player. It's like,
you know what?
He's a hamstring away from being.
I know, and that's what kills me because I so want to like this guy for this team. I really do. I wish him well. I really do. Honestly, that's one thing I do wish about him is I do wish him well and for him to be on the field more consistently. You know what I'm saying? And go out there and produce.
He needs to go back to Giancarlo.
Yeah. Well, I think I forgot who was it that said that if you put him in the outfield, it might have been you, Dom. If you put him out there in the outfield and let him participate more so than being a DH because coming off the bench to hit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think he'd be a lot healthier.
Back to Snell real quick. The Yankees offered him basically $30 million a year for 5 years. At age 31 as a pitcher.
That's crazy.
That's not bad.
What are you looking for, R?
Exactly.
That's not a bad deal.
What are you looking for?
I'm taking that.
No,
if I'm him, I'm taking
Boris
it.
looking for.
What's his name? 17.5 million. A year older than him. Okay, Stroman isn't Snell, but Stroman's still a good pitcher. You gave Him 17.5. You're willing to almost pay this dude double.
Double, right?
And you're still sitting at home waiting for Scott Boras to do what? Wave some magic wand?
And Don, to further your point, this is not December. This is not January.
Exactly, Dave.
Exactly.
You know, we in
it. We in it.
From the start of the season,
right?
And you're not even with a team yet.
And I think, honestly, let me just say this about Scott Boras. I think his ego, is way over the top because now with every free agent, you know, let me just clarify that. Every top free agent, you feel that you're gonna just like break the bank with them as your clients.
Yeah.
Right.
You understand? That's the thing. Mm-hmm.
He's part of the reason, guys. Y'all remember Union and some of these agents was trying to take MLB to the carpet on these lowball contracts.
Yeah.
Only a couple of years ago this happened, guys.
Yeah.
Where guys thought they were being, shortchanged on these. You basically raped Major League Baseball for how many years with these contracts?
Yeah.
Now they're like, whoa, wait a minute, Dave. We need to bring this shit back in a little bit.
Right.
But to this guy's point, guys, 31 years old, one Cy Young Award, never won a World Series, and they're offering you $30 million to wear our pinstripes, and you're still sitting on the couch. And tomorrow's March 1st,
and not only
twiddling your thumbs,
and not only the $30 million per year for 5 years, but also the chance to be on a championship team. A chance. I didn't say definite. I said a chance.
Yeah.
Right. And we know baseball. This ain't football.
Right.
That contract is guaranteed. You trip and fall off the stage tomorrow after your contract is signed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're still getting that money. You're still getting that money.
Again, to Dave's point with this Scott Boras shit, again, 2 years ago, guys, he's the one going on TV, going on MLB Network, bitching, they're trying to underpay R and Dave and Bishop. What's going on? Not thinking that the average fan like us, never mind ownership, was like, man, it was only a minute ago. Manny Machado got like $40 million. Mike Trout got $40 million. What's the guy's name that plays for the Phillies now? Harper. $40 million.
Yep.
You missed this shit. Where was you sleeping?
Yeah. What about the young kid from San Diego?
They putting the brakes on this, man. Get out of here.
What about Reg? What are you saying? Who?
The Padres shortstop. What's his name?
Oh my God.
Tatis.
Fernando.
He got the contract and then he effed up.
Then
all the way.
Now he's playing the outfield or whatever. Great player, guys. Trust me. He's a hell of a player. But again, like Reggie said, he's another one. Got that big ass contract. Nobody said nothing. It was like the doors are still open in baseball. The floodgates of money. And now you're sitting there like $30 million ain't shit. Excuse my French. But
listen here. Let somebody
pitcher, guys. Come on.
Let somebody give a 54-year-old a $30 million. Man, listen here.
Shit. I'll be the ball boy for 30.
I'll be the ball boy. What? What you mean you don't want to go out there and put the tarp on the field? I got this.
Uh-oh. I hear a whoa. Hold on. Go ahead, sir.
What ball boy? What are we talking about here?
Going down.
You're talking about a 54-year-old getting paid $30 million.
Oh, my Lord.
Damn, Bishop. Bishop be wanting to get to that unhinged portion.
Exactly.
I know, he's itching to get there.
He's dying. He's dying.
What? Not to get off the topic.
Yeah.
But I overslept today. And I keep hearing I said, damn, I gotta take my phone off the nightstand, put it on my iPad where it's got a cushion. By the time I woke up, I'm like 36 texts.
Exactly. I get that too.
Up with this shit, man.
Exactly. I get that as well, man. I'm like, God damn, so they need to calm down. You know? Hell yeah.
And I was off today. Go figure.
That figures.
Full blown.
Exactly.
And I'm like, what the hell?
All right. Let me get into this. I think I'm done with sports. Okay. Now listen.
Ooh,
I don't know about you guys. Overall, bro. And do I blame the migrants? I don't know. I don't know.
No.
I feel no. I'm gonna no. And if I do, that's my right. I'm gonna feel a certain type of way about this because cops are getting attacked. Let's see. There's this.
All right, Bishop.
Well, no,
get ready, Bishop.
Okay, yeah. Hold on for a second. Why am I holding on? For what?
He's
Why am I holding on?
He's getting ready to throw himself under the bus. Go ahead, Bishop.
So in other words, you concerned about cops being attacked?
You ain't let me finish. You didn't even let me finish when I was talking. But go ahead.
When they initiate the conflict.
Okay.
You talking about that in the city when they initiated
in Times Square?
Yeah, when they initiated the conflict, and then they just got the worst end of the deal. You talking about that?
I didn't hear it like that.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. So,
but go ahead.
So I saw the body cam footage. The dudes were just standing there, and the cops came along and was like being jerks and telling the dudes to like go over where, wherever they have the station for migrants or whatever. You can't stand over here. Go over there. Then they started blocking them, and then they started, as they were moving, they started shoving them. One of the dudes that they shoved, he bucked up. He's like, nah, don't put your hands on me. And so when he did that, decided to escalate to the next level and like grab him. And when they grabbed him, one of them grabbed him, the two of them fell to the floor. So then he's fighting to get the dude off of him, to get the cop off him. And then the other migrants, his other buddies came over and joined in the fray as well. So you stopped and you started being like dickheads. And then you tried to frame the story to make it seem like you got attacked. And your mayor, instead of him,
your man,
pretty much, instead of him trying to figure out what the facts of the story are, now you placate whatever you need to placate so you can get votes because you think you're going to be governor, which you're not.
He's not even going to be mayor again.
Exactly.
But let me say this: in New York, because Bishop, you're a New Yorker, but I'm telling you what the vibe is here. There is a lot of lawlessness, and at least one of those guys that they had, arrested and then let go, was involved in a robbery spree. In what was it, Macy's in Queens Center Mall. So there are. I'm not going to make a blanket indictment against the migrants. That's unfair.
I will. Leave that for me.
Yeah, okay. I'll leave it for you. But I mean, there are, there are some in that midst that are not good. They're criminals. They are. And I'm not a cop supporter per se, but there's a lot of lawlessness. I know people. I haven't been to Times Square in a while, but I know people who have gone to Times Square recently, and they have said that the migrants are all over there and they are harassing people. To the point where a lot of New Yorkers don't even want to go there. I mean, most New Yorkers, unless you work there, don't want to go to Times Square anyway, because it's just too much other stuff going on there. But a lot of them are there, and they are, from what I was told, they are harassing people.
They're harassing.
I don't know what happened. So let me just say this: I don't know what happened in this instance, where what with the body cam caught and where the cops being jerks, which they are prone to do, as we know. But there might have been some interactions, and they might have told them before, you can't be out here like this, and if they're bothering people, and people might have complained to them, and that might have preceded what we saw. And I hate to sound like one of those people that we didn't see the whole video, but I can tell you that there is a problem here in New York City.
No, I'm not saying that. Yeah. I'm not saying that there's not a problem in the fact that there's a lot of people there that normally wouldn't be there. I'm not saying that that's not the case, which to me, I don't understand you got all of these hotels and all of these things that you were using when COVID was happening, all the way out there by LaGuardia and not in the mainstream to disrupt the flow of New Yorkers. So why do you have them in Brooklyn? Why do you have them in the boroughs? Why do you have them in Manhattan? I don't understand.
Well, they're not wanted
Okay.
anywhere. Bishop,
Okay,
they're not wanted
I can
anywhere.
answer that.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Reg.
So let's look at this whole situation. We're gonna start with congestion pricing.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Let's start with that. The city is way more congested now. So
Yeah.
me personally, this is my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but this whole thing is a damn setup.
Yeah.
How can you go into detail when you say a
Listen.
setup?
How many states we got in this country? 50, right?
51.
51.
50.
No, 50, 51, whatever the case may be.
Well, you count Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
No, I mean, do. I'm not
No,
being
we
funny.
can't.
I'm
We
not being
can't
funny.
send. We can't send Venezuelans to Puerto Rico. But anyway, okay. But my whole thing is, if you want to volunteer, you want to be the only one to volunteer to say, "Oh, we're what do you say we are? We're what state?" Listen,
Sanctuary.
man,
Yeah, sanctuary.
if you didn't open up your damn mouth, we wouldn't have half the problems we have now. We had enough problems already before you implemented this crap.
Yes.
So when you take a step back, or I understand what you're saying, but you take a step back and you look at some of these Republican states who want to make migrants, immigration, and all of that stuff a political issue, with them spending money, resources to bus, fly, or however else they're getting these migrants from one state to the other state to dump them on other people's doorsteps. It's a political stunt, and every time you turn on the news, everywhere, especially in this political season, they can't say anything about the economy. They can't say anything about jobs. They can't say anything about. So everybody wants to jump on the border, immigration, this and that. Half the people who are talking that crap, if you go back 2 to 3 generations, are migrants.
Yes.
They're immigrants themselves.
Yeah.
So it's only certain immigrants that they don't want. It's only certain ones.
Sir, explain to me this, because I have a huge issue. When you don't have to show your ID to get into this country, I don't know who the hell you are. Okay, I have a huge issue with that. Okay, because we could be importing killers. We could be importing dangerous. Wait, okay, but we have it already, but we're getting more. We're getting more.
First of all, it is not we.
Well, first of all, to Bishop's point, which is becoming a dead issue now with them transporting migrants from one state to another. Remember, this is what y'all wanted. Y'all ran on this. Y'all ran on open borders, sanctuary cities. So why should I, Dominic, the governor of whatever state that didn't want this, didn't vote for this? This is what you wanted. Remember, guys, let's rewind this clock. We all had this conversation.
Yes.
You wanted this, Mayor Adams. But then when the shit hit the fan, now all of a sudden you're blaming the feds.
Yeah.
Right. I remember asking Dave, did they promise they'd have your back when this hit the fan? We all said no. But now all of a sudden it's almost election season, and here's Mayor Adams reversing his tone. But all things said, guys, the question is violence running rampant. Yes, the numbers prove this, whether it's immigrants or not. Violence is up in the United States of America, and it's been up for quite a few years.
And
so
it's not because, and it's not just because of the migrants.
You're letting people in this, and we don't know nothing about.
Yeah, but when you say violence
to a system that didn't work, that catch and release, you went back to this, Sleepy Joe. Nobody wanted this shit no more, but because you promised it, because you thought you were going to get votes, again, a political move that affected so many other states. You wanted this. You went back to a system that all 5 of us, I hope to God, can agree on was the most craziest shit we ever heard. We catch you, R. We tell you come back to court on March 1st.
Right.
And we don't see R again until who knows when. Not saying all of them will commit crimes, but we don't know. We don't even know where they're at.
Exactly.
Because we had this goofy catch and release shit. How many? I would love to know the numbers of how many of these guys came back to go to court or to get asylum. Since most of y'all are saying y'all are asylum seekers, I'd like to know how many of
just
them
like
came
that,
back to the system.
Just like that one guy.
For asylum.
Yeah.
Just like that one guy. And Dave, I think you mentioned him.
Yeah.
There's a sporting goods store in Times Square, right on 42nd Street. I believe it's right across from H&M, if I'm not mistaken, called JD Sports.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
This guy, JD Sports. This guy, along with his, I think he had like three or four other compadres with him. Okay, and he shot at a security officer. Okay, he missed. He hit a lady
in the leg.
He hit the lady. He hit an innocent lady in the leg. Okay, but he was part of a crime spree himself.
Right.
Yeah,
and it could have been what?
Yeah, when you're talking about violence in the country, where everybody keeps talking about violence is up and high and so forth, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct on that. 110% correct on that. But if you analyze what the violence is, it's people with these mass shootings, people who are Americans and can't control their emotions that decide that they're going to go someplace and shoot up. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of that.
What's considered a mass shooting? 5 victims or more.
I'm saying, so
5 victims or more is considered a mass shooting.
Correct.
There was a time they was having that every weekend in Chicago. Nobody said that.
Yeah.
Nobody said a damn word. But let me finish this one last. You look at New York City. There's one person to blame for this. Not even the mayor. It's the clown they hired or voted in to be the DA. That DA Bragg.
Alvin Bragg.
He's trying to make a right or wrong with everything. So he's letting criminals back on the street. I brought up the young kid that got shot in the face and killed in the Bronx. That cop.
Yeah.
Serving a warrant, got shot in his face and died. 24 years old. This dude was out 3 years after being arrested for a violent crime with, guess what? A gun. Because this DA was like, oh, you know, for years we were too tough on crime. Where were you too tough on crime? We let people go and so-called protest, tear up cop cars, burn down police stations, burn down city halls, attack CNN headquarters, but we let them walk because what? We didn't want to ruffle no feathers. That shit became a system where, especially, again, guys, it's not me talking. Do the math. Look what this DA has done. This DA Bragg. He is notorious for letting people off. And what's it creating, guys? It's creating that circle of
I think he's trying to balance
that. No, I'm saying, what was the basis for? What was the basis for all these protests? What was the basis for all these protests and burning down police cars?
I get that, Bishop, but again, you could feel how you
that in context
and why they did it.
Yeah,
the law says if you're going to protest, it has to be peacefully and in order. That's not throwing bottles at people, not shooting at cops.
But Dom,
I understand why
to interject in that, there were a lot of politically driven agitators in these events too.
It never stopped. Because you look what's going on in your city, guys. I don't mean to cut you off, Dave, but you look what's going on. Long after all the protests, all the riots.
You know what?
What's going on in your city?
I think also, I think honestly, you brought up the police and whatnot. That whole defund the police aspect.
They backtracked on that quick, didn't they?
Well, first of all, I was never a supporter of that. But
I'm talking about people that wanted it.
No, exactly. But here's the thing: you think these cops don't see this? These cops don't hear this and whatnot? I think this plays into a part of this violence and whatnot because the cops they're not going to be quick to respond to you. To these calls like that after they wanted the public to hell no.
But let me before I lose my point though.
Okay.
We gotta go back historically. When were the police ever quick to respond to anything in our community?
Never.
They didn't.
Never.
They didn't stop because people started calling them out. They never were. I remember years ago in Hollis, Queens, where a guy shot and killed his own brother. And while the police came there were two other families that had beef with each other, and they were fighting with each other. And I watched the police, and I passed by a cop who said, "We already got one dead. If we get another one, we just get the guy who did it." They weren't doing anything to stop it.
Wow.
They watched it happen, and they were just waiting for the next victim. And so in our communities, there has been over policing. And so there's a difference between criminals and the regular people in the community who are not criminals. But in the eyes of a lot of the police, they don't know the difference. So if they see a young black kid walking down the street, they deem them to be an offender before they've even done anything to show that they are or are not. So this is where that, Reg said balance. This is what you get now. You get the two extremes. You get one side that is overly zealous in their policing, and you get another side who looks like they are trying to do the opposite to make up for. You got two wrongs,
right?
Yes.
And somewhere we've got to find that middle ground, because that's where that's where the truth lies in this whole thing.
But to R's point, Dave, when you're, and again, not to debate it or disagree, but to R's point, when you're a police officer, and you're constantly seeing what you're doing, you're spinning your wheels. You're going out there, and they're trying their best, Dave. Let's just say they're trying their best.
No, they're not.
To help
No,
Dom,
I have to disagree with you there.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
I'm trying to get to a point.
Let him make his point.
For argument's sake, for Bishop and Dave, let's say they're not trying to do that. But here's the thing. Even the ones that are trying, and they're arresting people that are tearing up that said community, and they're letting these people out in 2 to 3 years, here goes the wheels on the bus going round and round. Why should I do this shit, Dave? Why should I put my life on the line? And in 2 years, this guy's going to be out, and here goes a dead police officer.
So
never mind the guy's wife that almost died from the shooting.
So then don't be a cop. Don't take the.
Then you have no police. Okay.
No, but what I'm saying is, let me just say this. It's not that we don't need police. Believe me, as a black person who has a home, in New York City, I definitely want the police. But when I call the police, I don't want to worry about being seen as a criminal myself when they come. And sometimes their tactics and their methods. I'm going to tell you something that I just found out yesterday, and this is very interesting, and I think more people need to know about this. So in the schools now, because we have school safety officers who are under the jurisdiction of NYPD. Right. When we were in school, they were under the jurisdiction of the Board of Ed. Bloomberg changed that and moved them to PD. And this is not a knock on the school safety agents. But I had a kid yesterday that came into the building with a Nerf gun.
Okay.
With a what, Dave?
A Nerf gun.
A Nerf gun. It was confiscated. He was held in the security office. They had to put it into the system, and there's only two options: gun or imitation gun. It doesn't give you an option to say this is a
toy gun. Right.
So, but that aside, here's what really blew my mind that I didn't know, and this is fairly new, I guess. They called the parent. The father works in the area, so the father was able to come.
Who's washing dishes?
I don't know. It's every week. Reg is washing dishes. I guess.
No, I'm not. I was on mute.
Okay, all right. But let me hit this point though. The father comes up to the school. Father comes in, and they immediately take the father to another room. The reason is because before they release the kid, they have to do now a background check on the parent. And so now he's subjected to a background check before they'll turn over his child to him. And to make matters even crazier, if we decide, well, how about releasing the kid to us as school officials? They have to run our background. So this to me sets up this system of overly policing these things. It was a damn Nerf gun. The kid had it in his backpack. You know, and the police were called. The police came and they were there 5 minutes. 5 minutes. They walked in, went to the room, saw the item, turned around, and walked back out. But now you're putting people through all of this extra stuff and bringing up, suppose the father had outstanding tickets. This comes up in there. Now he's jammed up in the situation because he's coming to get his child. So there is, I think the system is messed up on both ends of it. And us in the middle are getting caught up in this. And so that's the issue that we're having. And this is why you're getting both sides of it. And both sides are extreme.
Dave, can I ask how old that kid was?
16.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a flip side to that, Dave.
Yeah.
And no, I have watched some TV in my life.
No.
Yeah, you may want somebody to do a background check because you don't know what that father is gonna do to that kid. Okay, you don't know if you have the father's number, but
this father has been to the school before. He works in the area. He's been up to the school before. We know who he is. But here's the thing. Here's the other part of it, Reg, is let's say the kid had an issue with his teacher in the classroom, and nothing involving any weapon or any pseudo weapon or anything like that. And we say, well, we need to meet with your parent. We bring the parent up to the school. We don't have to do a background check on him. It's because it was being policed in this matter that it turned into this extra stuff now that is coming down, top down. I'm sure it's Adams to the chancellor and so forth. And we didn't even know about it as a school, but that is the new practice. So
that was my next question, Dave. Where is this coming from? It has to be coming from some part of the administration, whether it's the governor, the city.
Yeah.
So that's my question. When we sort through all of this,
it's not
what
the
you're
school
saying,
system,
Dave, kind of bizarro.
Yeah.
We gotta sometimes sit back and say, damn, Dave, did you start this shit?
Yeah. No, it's definitely school safety is a totally separate entity. They operate in schools, but they work.
But they work for the police
department. Yes. When we were in schools, school safety was a part of the board of ed.
That's it. Exactly.
We just had security guards, man.
Yes.
I'm not that old, am I?
Right. And no. And the principal, this changeover happened in the mid-90s under Bloomberg. So once they went from Board of Ed to the Department of Education, they gave the school system mayoral control. So the mayor appoints the chancellor. The mayor oversees the police department, obviously. So everything that school safety does is coming from the angle of the police. NYPD, they're not educators. They're very nice people, but their objective is very different than people who work for the school system.
Make arrests, fill out paperwork, fill out reports. Everything is in the enforcement of the law, or when they break the law, the covering up of them breaking the law. So
this is the other part, Bishop. Bishop, before you go any further, I just need to give this other piece of it. The school safety agents who were on site and made because we were scanning buildings, so that's how we found out that the kid had this. They didn't even want to push this. But
wait a minute, Dave. Let me stop you. The school safety officers.
The school safety officer, yes, they looked at me and said, "We didn't even want to do this."
But the SSOs are working for the NYPD.
They work. They are governed. The governing body that oversees them is the NYPD. Okay. So they are.
Now I'm tracking.
Yes. So They do work for the NYPD. They work in conjunction with them. That's where their directives come from. But they are a separate entity, a separate agency than the NYPD, but they are governed by the NYPD.
They answer to the NYPD.
They answer to the NYPD on a lot of PD on a lot of things. But technically, they're answering to the mayor. And so the school safety leadership reports directly to the mayor, but they are under the jurisdiction of the NYPD. The same way when the chancellor reports directly. Well, the mayor controls everything. The mayor controls everything.
That's a little bizarre, Dave. To have
a
small entity like that.
No, when they did that,
answering to the mayor, that's like me being a private answering to a 2-star general.
Well, this is the thing, but just like the mayor isn't an educator, but the chancellor answers to the mayor.
Let me ask you guys.
Brought up a great point, Dave. You brought up a great point because that change was made under who?
Bloomberg.
Control freak billionaire, control freak.
Stop, Bishop. Every policy, and I'm pretty sure Mayor Adams has enacted and deactivated.
I gotta ask.
A million policies that somebody else had.
We
could split hairs on that one, but he had his opportunity to get rid of said policy.
Okay.
But let's not forget. Isn't Mayor Adams a former cop?
Yes, he is. Yes, he
let me bring up let me play devil's advocate for a second, okay?
Yeah.
Dave, this kid, you said 16 years old, whatnot.
Yeah.
Where's the accountability on the parents, though?
You know, I don't know if we touched upon this in here last week or with somebody else. I was talking about it. Let me tell you.
Because shouldn't they know?
No.
Not necessarily.
No, not at all. You don't know what these kids do once they leave the house.
Let me tell you something. My school is downtown Brooklyn. There's they opened up a 5 and Below store on Fulton Street. It's very popular. These kids get these things. They buy them from there. Right. They go out on lunch. Okay. They come back to the building with these things. Parents have no idea that they even have it. And there are certain things I will tell you that I've seen where you look at the parent and it's like, come on now, where's your accountability on this? But these kids are teenagers. They don't think the way we think as adults. They go out and do all kinds of stuff, and they come from homes that two unparent household that are very loving and caring and very involved. These kids get out with each other. You see 2 or more teenagers, and somebody's telling the other one what to do. So they follow a lot of things, and they don't understand the severity of it, which takes me to the next point is what we try to do is help them understand how their actions can have an impact, a domino effect on something. So what happened, what started out as what he thought was innocently having a toy gun, the reason why they actually had to escalate it is because it shoots out projectiles, even though they're soft, Nerf, but they still, that's why they had to put it under that. But this could have had a domino effect that could have messed up his parents. So we've got the responsibility as educators and as people who work with young people to try to help them to understand that they don't live in a bubble. What a decision that they make, and we grew up in New York. We know how many times did we about to make a dumb mistake and thought about it and said, you know what, I'm not doing that, and that's the difference between us being here or us being locked up or in a cemetery somewhere.
No. Hold on. Let me stop you there, Dave.
Yeah.
When we were going to school, the parents put the fear of God in us.
No, that is true.
If we ever thought of doing something to make them come up to the school,
but no,
it was over.
Reg,
am I lying, Bishop? Am I lying?
Reg, I'm not disagreeing with you, but what I'm saying is I did not say that we made choices in school. I'm talking about outside of school, in the street. We're hanging with our friends. R and I grew up in house queens, as even though
even worse,
single family houses with lawns and all that stuff. We did some wild stuff, but
it was a different time when we grew up. Because
it wasn't that different in the sense.
Yes, it was.
Well, did you have friends who went to jail? Did you have friends who died?
Dave,
as teenagers?
Dave, listen to what I'm saying.
No, I think I had saying, Reg.
I could be on the other side, not even the neighborhood. I could be in Brownsville somewhere. Right. Okay.
Yes.
First of all, what was I doing in Brownsville? Let's start with that one. Right. Second of all, somebody saw me in Brownsville that knew my parents.
I understand that, but
and this is without cell phones, mind you.
Understand how I started this. What I started was we all grew up in New York. There were opportunities for us to make mistakes. That's the point that I'm making. Whether we did or didn't may be a product of many different variables. But the point that I'm making is we each had opportunity to go left or go right.
Right. You're 100% right on that.
So that's my point. Because we went the right way and not the wrong way, we're here.
Not necessarily.
Well, I'm not saying, listen, we didn't do anything that prevented us from being here tonight. Free.
Right. Got you.
Can I ask a question, guys? Have we become too soft? Let's take the incident away. Let's go back to the adults and the administrators and the leadership. Have they become so soft that, come on, guys, you just finished saying, Dave, the kid was 16.
Yeah.
When we were 16, we were smart enough to know what teacher not to mess with, didn't we?
Absolutely.
There was always a handful of those teachers that you were afraid of.
Yeah.
Let's just be
honest.
Yes.
I can name them right now. Mr. Slattery, Doc Sanders. I didn't want to mess with them. I was afraid they was going to whoop my ass, to be quite honest.
Yes.
I went to school in the Bronx. I was actually afraid to get my ass whooped when I know they really couldn't hit me, but I'm thinking they just might.
But to answer your question, they have so much quote unquote protection now.
Well,
you understand what I'm saying?
100%, 100% on that.
And guys, let me tell you something. To get off the school thing, the military has actually done that. They become so soft that it's almost like you two guys are in the service. It's almost like the lowest rankingest guy got more power than the guy in charge of the person that he's being. You know, we're talking somebody 2 levels up. This young private thinks he's got as much power and he could get his ass out of stuff just because he's saying it. It's weird, guys. I mean,
no, you're right.
So
you're right to that.
When you guys met, I didn't interject. When you guys mentioned earlier about the whole defund the police and so forth and so on, it wasn't get rid of the police. It's people started narrating and misconstruing it. It was the money, the surplus that the police department has to militarize themselves, to get tanks, to get seafood and all of this stuff in residential settings. That shouldn't be allowed. Because when there were protests, there were tanks and armored vehicles going down the streets in these residential neighborhoods, and
man,
wait a minute. How did this happen? Man,
listen.
It looked like we're in Bosnia because people are protesting.
Listen,
sometimes
they got some things out there. You might need a tank or two. They got some things out there.
There was never a tank, but there was other armored vehicles. I get it. Don't get me wrong.
I saw this armored vehicle.
Again, I served in the military. But again, that's your other option. And again, when you talk about defund the police, yes, I understand what Bishop's saying about some of the equipment and some of the training and some of the whatever. But there was also portions that were going to cut back on detectives, overtime, and all sort of things. This was all a part of.
I think they framed that.
Here's the funny thing.
Yes, Bishop. Yes.
I'll ask this one question. Here's the funny thing. I don't care what they were taking away from. Where was the money going?
Well. Let me ask you this:
putting it in community and programs.
Somebody
was having a mental breakdown if somebody's having a mental breakdown, that you don't send a cop with a gun to deal with somebody who's having a mental breakdown.
Right. And let me just say this though. There was no outcry when they defunded the schools.
No.
When they took the programs out of the schools. There were schools that used to be open 6 days a week. For kids to have a place to go. The schools had music programs. They had art programs. Some schools had to give up sports programs. And all that was due to defunding.
Right.
And those resources were moved somewhere else. So part of combating, at least with the juveniles, is giving them other things to do, giving them opportunities. There's always going to be bad apples.
Right.
But if you give the majority of these kids things to do and places to go where they don't have to be out on the streets because the gangs are always offering them opportunities.
Of course. Does the PAL even exist anymore, Dave?
The buildings do, but I haven't heard of people
any programs, right?
Yeah,
right.
I haven't heard.
Because I have a friend that still lives in the Bronx, and he's telling me, "Dom, the PAL is a thing of your past."
Yes,
I'm like, really?
And these kids today
they
don't know
defunded
what
them. They don't have that. They don't have that anymore. They don't have
that's what I heard. They're not even.
Which was a perfect opportunity to marry the police and the community. You get to know.
I work for them.
They don't want that. They don't want that.
Exactly. So this is what we're talking about.
They want to keep that divide.
Why ain't we holding the people's feet to the fire that are doing this shit, that don't want to change this shit, but we
are not the powers that be.
Well, and also the blame gets shifted all around the place, and so the real problem, the real culprits are hidden behind that, and they do. People get up there, they point at you, Dom. They point at you, Reg. They point at you, Bishop, and say you're the problem. You're the problem. You're the problem. And the real ones who actually have the power, they're in the background,
and they're the ones that are getting voted in.
This is by design. This is absolutely.
And they're the ones getting voted in, Dave. I hate to keep saying we had this conversation, but we had this conversation. If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got.
That's true. Absolutely.
Saying, never change,
good or bad.
Never
good
will.
Or bad.
Yeah, exactly, Dave. Good or bad.
Yep.
If you do what you've always done, you're gonna get what you've always got. If you ain't put, as everybody would say, change. Everybody wants change.
Yeah.
But they don't vote for it. They vote for the same shit that you're getting.
Yeah.
And then who do we blame, guys? We sit back and we'll have these conversations amongst us five guys.
Exactly.
And guess what? We'll come on here next year and we'll still be talking about the same thing.
And we'll look like this, and we'll look like the Spider-Man meme pointing at
right. We'll be a year older, but
right.
We'll be talking about the same guys. I always say this. Y'all think I'm joking. That's why I sent y'all the prediction. I actually listened to some of the conversations we've had. I'd be like, damn, it's like we're running in quicksand.
Yeah.
I'm talking some of them, like the one with the voting, that was just last year. So that was easy with the who's going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But guys, I can go back 3-4 years when I first met Ronan, when I first met Chandler. And believe it or not, guys, we're still talking about the same shit we were talking about back then.
Yeah.
Crazy as that sounds, we are.
It's true. It's true. And it's not like it's rocket science. The answers are there.
Right.
You just have to know the right questions to ask and who to ask them to.
Yeah.
And who to hold accountable. You know?
Right now, the whole political scene, the whole society is like, if you want to get things done, if you want to get people to vote a certain way, you just fearmonger. You just tell them you just tell them that like the world is coming to an end.
Yep.
Our country is being overrun.
And they're
not going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
They're going for seniors. They're doing this. They're doing that.
They're coming for your this.
Yeah, they're coming for your wife. They're coming for your children.
Yep.
They're going to take your homes. They're going to take the food out of your refrigerator.
Yep.
Just do the fear mongering, and that will get you what it is that you want. Because again, I gotta say, it's like, I understand the whole thing. Like the cities are being overrun because they're shipping migrants from one place to the next place to the next place. I got it. But at the end of the day, that's not the root of the problem here in this country. Migrants come in here. They've been coming here for many, many years. And a lot of the people who are beating this drum to say it's the migrants are actually migrants themselves.
Yeah.
If their grandparents or their great-grandparents were the migrants. They were the Irish. They were the Italians. They were, the Europeans, whatever.
Yeah.
They were migrants.
But with anything else, Bishop, times have changed. We're talking about, human trafficking and all of this shit that's going under the radar because we want something to be one way, but it ain't. And now we got this big open medium. And again, to Bishop's point, with the fear mongering, we only hear that every 3.5 years.
Yes.
We only hear the world is going to catch on fire every 3.5 years.
Yeah.
We don't hear this shit the rest of the time, do we? We don't hear the spaceship is coming and are going to take over New York City. We hear it every 3.5 years, though.
Yeah. We
From
get a
the
new
same people, mind
you. Yeah, Chicken Little.
Yeah. I mean, no joke, guys, but it makes you think, at least me, that, man, how many times can you tell me the same shit and I'm still believing it?
Right.
Yeah.
I've been past that, guys. Don't get it twisted. I have been past that I can't even listen to it no more. From both sides.
No,
the world's going to come
sides.
to an end.
From
Democracy is on the line.
Yeah.
Now we're downsizing the military. But the world is coming to an end.
But
we're sending billions of dollars to Ukraine, but we're going to downsize our military.
But here's the thing,
Don't figure
Dom.
that one out.
Here's the thing that gets me, Dom, and I get these emails, political emails. The world is coming to the end, and for $5, you can save the world.
You can help stop it. Only $5, Dave. You can stop the world from coming to an end.
That's
exactly.
right. Yeah.
Go figure. Come on. We should be better than that by now.
Exactly.
We are. At least us, I hope, are.
I think we are.
But you'll hear it. I mean, just the other day I heard, when was it, 2 days ago, that Joe Biden is full of vigor and energy and he's in great shape. Like, I haven't seen this shit going on for 3.5 years.
Exactly.
Stumbling, bumbling, can't hold a second.
Nobody trying to hear that.
All of a sudden, he's in better shape than me and Dave.
Well, I hope so, because I haven't seen his vice president anywhere.
You know what, Dave? As much as we take that shit as a joke, I would almost say right now, serious guys, and I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I lean more to the right because I love my money and my military. But I look at it now, Dave, where I used to think it was a joke.
Yeah.
But I'd be like, man, Kamala Harris ain't looking that bad right now. Put her off the bench, get her in the game.
She has a pulse.
At least she can hold a sentence, fellas.
Yeah.
Put her in, coach. Put her in.
Put her in.
Dave, for real. If you start a sentence, Dave, with, hope I don't get this wrong.
Yeah.
What do you want me to say?
9 out of 10 times you're going to get it wrong.
You got to have a disclaimer every time you start.
Oh, man.
I hope I get this. Abraham Lincoln once said, hold up, let me make sure I get this right. And you're reading
right. But he thinks that makes him personable.
Didn't Noah start the show off with a disclaimer?
Get Kamala Harris off. I'm calling for the right hand. Bring her on the bullpen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Put her in, coach.
No.
But again, guys, I'm not saying it as a
It's a jokey joke.
Yeah, we're down by 5 runs, man. We need to stop this team from scoring.
Right.
Yeah, stop the bleeding.
Exactly.
I'm not saying it's Mariano Rivera, but
right. And at least stop the dam from overflowing.
Thank you. They stop the bleeding for a couple of innings.
Yeah.
Plug the dike.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
DIKE, not the D. You know the one I'm talking about.
I'm sorry, guys. When I heard that, I was like, you know what I did say, though? You know what was weird when I heard that? Man, I got to ask. I didn't even text y'all. I was going to ask y'all. Man, now there's hope for all of us. Because if this motherfucker is full of piss and vinegar and zeal and motivation, God darn it, there's hope for all of us. And we're all pushing 60.
No. The person in the upper left corner, absolutely not.
We're almost the same age.
Man, listen here.
Oh gosh.
Talk about, man, listen here. I mean, he might be better than Sleepy Joe, but I don't
You
know.
talking about Tim Scott? You talking about Tim Scott?
Tim
The
Scott.
first person I thought about when I heard about his physical was R. I was like, damn,
Wow.
me and R's almost the same age. Boy,
Yeah.
we got a lot of hope in us.
I'm a year
Listen
behind
here.
y'all.
I see R every Thursday. We got it made, R. We're gonna
Yep.
make it.
Wait. All was sleep with the codes next to him.
Huh?
No, R wouldn't have to worry.
He gonna blow up everything.
Every
Oh man, come on, man. I'm not that type of guy. You know what I'm saying?
See R.
Also, you're all out of here.
Said, Russia said, what?
What?
Man, Russia said, what? Send them nukes, man.
He said, get off my planet. Not get off my
Well,
lawn. Get off my planet.
All I'll say is this: if I wanted to blow up Missouri, yeah, then you might have a point there.
Wow.
Okay.
No, guys, I was just talking about physicality. I'm serious, no joke.
Right.
When I heard about his physical, I first thought of me and R. Like,
Right.
shit, man, me and R got it made.
Yo,
We're both thinking 60. And we're
Exactly.
feeling
You
like
know.
this. We can hold it.
No, I don't know. Wait, hold on. You know, because in about 10 minutes, somebody gonna say, yo, we gonna have to cut this short. I gotta go to bed.
And you know what? You're right. How you and you know what? Exactly. Matter of fact, I'm saying it right now. Exactly.
No,
I'm saying it right now.
Nah, we didn't even get to the good stuff yet.
We are in the good stuff. What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about.
I am not. Listen, we're gonna cut that short because that's not.
He said the
I
question
gotta
is,
take my nap, man.
did he or did he not?
Gotta get to my nap.
Y'all better not.
That's
be
it.
He gotta get to his job.
Yeah,
He
he's
gotta
got
get
to I got to get to his other job.
I gotta get to my job. Exactly.
He gotta get to his job at P. Diddy's place.
Wait,
Whatever.
wait. Hold on. What do you do, Al?
I do corporate security for this law firm.
We're gonna call you Tommy from Martin.
No.
Let me ask you, what time do y'all have to be to work?
I got to be working 8:30. I get up at 5.
Yeah, I gotta be at 8, and I gotta get up at like 5.
Oh my God, what's this?
Whoa, you gotta be there at 8 and you gotta get up at 5? What
Yes, because I don't live in the boroughs like that. Exactly.
Yeah, we live in Queens. I take the Long Island Railroad. I get up at 5 so that I can sit for an hour and contemplate my life. And then 6 o'clock, I start moving. And then I'm on the train by 7:30.
Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?
I can see Bishop. Bishop probably like me. Bishop gets up 35 minutes before he has to go. And go.
No,
And
that
that's
would
it.
be me.
That would be you, Reg?
Man, listen here. I got to be to work at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
On a good day, I'm leaving the house at 5:30.
Okay.
You drive?
Man,
to-
we drive.
I
to work?
drive.
He
Yeah, see,
drives.
I take the Long Island Railroad, so
Right.
I got to be on the 7:30 train so I can be at work at 8.
Man, listen.
That's it.
You take mass
Listen.
transportation
He
too?
takes Uber.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to take Uber. Back in the good old COVID days, I took Uber.
Listen, I done got to my almost, God bless, to my 20th year. They
Yes.
better be glad if I even show up. Man.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
right.
you gonna show up?
That's
Stop
the way-
fronting.
That's the way.
Yeah.
What?
You
Man,
gonna show up?
listen
Stop
here.
fronting.
I'll be like,
go out
man,
there.
it's a bad day for me. I'm
Whatever.
not going to be there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you
Nice to
earned
have
it.
that option.
But you know,
Nice.
Dom, you notice R is the only one that said the good old COVID days.
No, right? Ain't that something?
As if people
Oh, no.
weren't dying and all that.
Whoa.
I mean,
COVID
outside of that, okay, yeah.
Man, the
outside of
COVID
death,
days,
y'all
let me
the
tell
outside of
you,
the death, yeah.
there was
I had about 6
nobody
months.
on the street.
No, I know.
It was crazy.
I was
So
working
traffic,
remote.
I was getting to work in 15, 20
Yeah,
minutes.
no, it's true. It was a ghost town in
I
New
was
York.
in the back of-
Exactly.
Nah.
Exactly.
in the back of an Uber, chilling.
Yeah.
I was-
2 days. Listen, working 2 days a week and getting driven back and forth. Listen, come on. You couldn't beat
Other
that.
than COVID, guys, I told you all the story. I had about 6 months left before I retired.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh.
I used to go to work so early. I said, man, you know what?
How many
put
years
my
ago was that,
uniform in
Dom?
my office, and I'm gonna wear my running gear to work. And sometime during the morning, I'll get dressed.
Right.
Time would go by, days would go by. Man, I must have went 6 months without ever wearing a uniform. And I'm thinking, ain't nobody say nothing to me.
Nothing. Exactly.
I'm like, man, they really must be either afraid of me or they don't give a shit no more. But I went 6 months.
Because you didn't.
No, I never thought I would milk it that far.
It's like you say, if he don't care, why should we care?
Exactly.
But the funny thing is,
no fuss, no muss.
They're coming in every day with their uniform on, and they would come in my office. Hey, morning time. I'm like, hey, I'm thinking somebody's at least gonna ask me, like, hey,
but they didn't.
Are you ever gonna put your fucking uniform on?
No.
And
Negative K.
I worked for a full bird colonel. He was chirping me all day on them fucking, remember them Nextels?
Yes.
Right.
Not once did he say anything.
Hey. What was he going to say to you?
Nobody cares.
He knew
you was on your way out.
John, what they going to say to you is, we don't want to push this guy's buttons because he has a special skill
That's
set.
probably what it was.
Sometimes I think they was happy I didn't wear my uniform.
Right.
You know, because now everybody can stop looking at all this goofy shit and feel so goofy and shit. But I was cool, guys. I varied it up. I would wear the pants one day,
right?
The short sleeve shirt, the long sleeve shirt, the jacket.
Exactly.
I varied. So I thought.
How many years ago was that, Dom?
It was what?
I retired 2009.
Oh,
so I went from August. I went from August to February, guys.
Right.
And then when I went down to Fort Meade to do my retirement, I'm reading the shit. Man, shit don't say be in your uniform. But you know what? I'll go halfway. Yeah. I'll wear my PT uniform in case they get a bug up there. I got to drive 4.5 hours. To see what they say. I got there. They was like, oh, you know, we need to go over this. I'm like, 2 days later, I drove home. I was out the Army. I was like, ain't this some shit?
Nice.
I ain't wear a fucking uniform. God
bless
America.
I can tell you, during COVID, I worked from home, and it was a year and a half before I wore pants that didn't have an elastic waistband.
Wow.
hey, Bishop, you still work from home?
Say what?
You still work from home, Bishop?
No. I gotta
so you going? So you going?
I gotta go in the office. And
how's the commute?
I'm not driving. It's quiet. I'm on a highway. It's quiet. I'm in my vehicle. It's quiet.
Man, all y'all go back to work now, huh?
Are you driving the car like Dom?
Yeah.
Huh?
Are you driving a car like Dom?
I drive an SUV.
Oh, excuse me.
Not like Dom. Nothing like Dom.
Nah.
I'm on a highway. I'm on a highway cutting people off because I still drive like I'm in New York.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
As you should.
Drive like I'm in New York.
That's right.
I still hate minivans.
Wow.
I had my way.
Do they even have minivans anymore?
Yeah,
of course they do.
Nice one.
Of course they do.
I had my way.
Do they?
No, I'm saying if I had my way, I would run for office and I would pass legislation that made it so that you had to pay an extra surcharge if you drove a minivan. And I would also require all minivans to fill up with 93. Like you can't use regular gas. You got to fill up with the high octane.
Wow. Oh my
most
God.
Expensive. Yeah,
that sucks. That sucks. Yeah. Trust me, I have to use 93. That shit sucks.
Yeah, you got to use that for a minivan.
Well, you know, all depends on what you drive. You know,
exactly.
Yeah. You don't want to downsize.
I got a half a tank of gas. Ain't that some shit?
You don't want to downsize,
gentlemen.
Yeah. Wait, hold on.
It is that time.
Hold on.
Wow.
I'm listening. It's almost time for the show. That's the time it is. Okay.
Nah. We just gonna overlook that whole subject, bro. We just gonna skip that.
Ain't nobody skipping nothing.
I knew.
I gotta wrap this up. I gotta wrap this up. I gotta wrap this up. So with that being said, guys,
hold on. Let's just saying something.
Yeah, let me just say this. I remember a time when the worst part of working for Diddy was that you might have to go get cheesecake.
But you had to walk though, didn't you?
Huh? Listen, I'm just glad that I did not accept that offer. I'll just say that. So
y'all ain't right, man.
That's not what it say in the papers.
That's a different Rodney Jones. That's Little Rod, exactly. Is it my fault he has the same name as
what
me?
you want. Say
Whatever.
what you want, man.
Whatever.
You know, whatever.
Whatever.
Bishop,
You know what I'm saying?
what was you saying, Bishop, before you were so rudely interrupted?
It's like, yo, it's a personal subject matter to him, so he doesn't want to discuss
it. He's got a non-disclosure.
Whatever.
I kind of figured that.
Whatever.
Non-disclosure.
So with that, like I said, with that being said, this has been.
Before you go, did he?
Like
did he not?
Did he or did he?
Whatever. Get the freak out of here. I can't stand y'all. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand you guys. You guys are the worst.
Look, I didn't even say anything, man.
Nah, you good, Ronan. You're good. You're good.
What's Ronan? Where did Ronan go?
And now he's gonna come in. You know what? We got to catch you next week, bro. Shit opens up. All right.
I didn't even say anything, bro. I'm just laughing and shit, man.
When I saw that article, you don't know how excited I was.
I saw.
Wait.
Oh no.
Okay. I really.
And the first two words was what? Rodney Jones.
Exactly. I was like, oh my God, this is horrible.
Lil Rod.
Well, that's not me. I can't help it. I can't help if the guy has the same name as me.
It's whatever show.
That's like Little Penny. That's what Rodney.
All right. With that being said, this has been Untitled.
Did he make you walk around and put your hands in his pockets?
This has been Untitled. These guys are roasting the host, so I'm going to end this. Yeah. So thank you, panel, you guys, for joining me. Shout out to the chat room. Well, it'll be back next week. Shout out to the people in the chat room. Thank you, Anita L, for your commentary. Thanks for watching.
In the chat room, look forward to Unhinged.
Yeah, listen, exactly. I think next week I'm going to have a fully unhinged show.
Wait, right? The panel looks forward to Unhinged.
Yes.
So
we
peace
didn't
to you
even
guys.
Get Unhinged today.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
We were robbed.
We did.
We were robbed.
So peace out. Peace. Guys, have a wonderful. Thank you for your participation. Have a great one.
No problem.